Hey everybody, I'm Adam and I just got back from seeing XXX, The Return of Xander Cage, and holy crap, if you guys are fans of great storytelling, compelling characters, and lots of fun action, well, you're in luck, because John Wick 2 comes out in 2 weeks and that movie is gonna be awesome. This movie sucks so hard. It's our first contender for worst movie of the year. And I like Vin Diesel. I'm a fan of his, but the first XXX movie came out in 2002. Which is 15 years ago, way back when the X games were popular. And I liked the first movie. It was stupid fun, I really enjoyed it, but maybe it's because I'm 15 years older now, or because the environment in which the first movie came out no longer exists, that this movie just doesn't work. The story of this movie only makes sense in the most general, broadest of terms, all right? There are good guys that need to stop bad guys from doing a bad thing. Then it turns out there are more good guys than we originally thought, and one person that was barely good at the beginning turns out are not so good at the end, and they die. So the story is basically simple, but it's the telling of that story where everything falls apart because the editing is so bad. At one moment, we're on the plane, we're talking to our main characters, trying to figure out what to do next. They haven't figured it out, and then all of a sudden, we're on a beach, on an island, and no one knows why. And you know what? Shut up, because here's a hot girl in a bikini. Just enjoy that. The editing is just, there's no context between edits. You're jumping all over the place, you have no idea where you are, and you don't know why you're there. It just made for an excruciating viewing experience. God. And the script, oh man, it foreshadowed like a 3-year-old banging on Tupperware. And the dialogue in this movie is so bad, it's like a 13-year-old virgin was trying to write erotica. Because this movie really boils down to just two things: how cool everybody is and how much everyone wants to have sex with each other. But the writer clearly doesn't have the social skills to be cool or know how normal people communicate the desire to have sex with each other. I kid you not, 9 minutes into the movie, XXX has met up with an old female friend of his and he was trying to get information out of her and to have sex with her. But she politely declines his invitation to bone, but as she's leaving, is like, you know what, I don't want to do it, but these 8 hot girls in bikinis surrounding me totally will. And then they do. Now let's talk about the women in this movie for just a moment. This movie wipes its ass with the Bechdel test, all right? Every major female character in this movie is a bisexual nymphomaniac or a bitch. That's it. And there's only 4 main female characters. Case in point, the scene where we meet our tech specialist, played by the actress who came in second for the role of Supergirl. She comes out and immediately gets turned on by the mere sight of Vin Diesel. Then she spouts a whole lot of expositional crap and then throws her vagina at Vin Diesel. She accidentally tells Vin her safe word and then gets all embarrassed, but not really because she's naughty. The 90s had their manic pixie dream girl cliche for all of us emotional grungy teens. Well, now there's a new cliche. It's the super smart nerdy sex freak. Let's meet the rest of Vin's new team of extreme assets. We've got hot, vaguely European sniper girl, but she's got green hair. So cool. And then there's this guy who I think is British, but I'm not sure. He doesn't talk a whole lot, and I think there's a slight accent, but it's not really sure where he's from. Anyways, his cool ability is to crash things into other things. I wish I was kidding. I'm not. It's lame. And then there's this really cool rebellious Asian youth who's a master DJ. He spent years honing his abilities to hit the space bar on a MacBook or moving a fader from left to right. Oh my god, he's so cool. I wish I was kidding. I'm totally not. In the one fight scene he's in, he fights somebody with a laptop and the power of music. I'm not joking. This is what really happened. And they're up against Donnie Yen, who is amazing in all respects. He is awesome. But of note, as bad as this movie is, and it is super bad, Donnie Yen's character is more fleshed out than his character in Rogue One. And Tony Jaa, who is also awesome in all the things he does. The problem is in this movie he's completely underutilized and doesn't have a whole lot of lines, which does make sense. It's clear he's still learning how to speak English. And then there's this completely random white guy who has, I think, 3 lines and no character, so who cares about him? And then super hot Indian babe who looks good in clothing and out of clothing or little clothing. She's a decent shot with a few guns and she's got a moral compass. Oh, and has the ability to attract the main character's sexual attention. Yeah. Yes, I'm giving the casting shit, but racially diverse casts are great, much like it was in Rogue One. The thing is, in Rogue One, it made sense that all of these different characters of different, or at least earthbound nationalities, came together to stop the Empire. It felt natural there. Here, on the other hand, and maybe this is the cynic in me, but it really, really felt like they were just checking off boxes. Asian actors, check. European actors, check. One Indian actor, check. Do we have anyone from South America? Kind of, in the first scene. Who said doesn't play a big part, so who cares? Check. And Vin Diesel. Let's make a movie. Going into this movie, you know they're gonna bend the laws of physics a little bit. But the first stunt of the movie, there is no way a human being would ever survive. Like, it's ridiculous. The most egregious thing in this movie is the doomsday weapon everyone's worried about. So everyone's after this techno-magic black box that can take control of satellites, which they've nicknamed Pandora's Box, of course, because the writer has no creativity whatsoever. Anyways, so this magic box can take control of satellites and then crash them into Earth with the force of a baby nuke. Let me repeat that. A satellite breaking orbit, going through re-entry, not breaking up, and then crashing into the surface of the Earth with the force of a small nuke. This happens a few times in the movie. We actually see it happens. A small cookie cutter type satellite, with solar panels and all, breaks orbit and then starts heading towards Earth. Hits the upper atmosphere, starts heating up. You can see the heat trails and everything's turning orange and white. And nothing breaks off. Even the solar panels still survive re-entry and they slam into Earth. There's no physical way that could possibly happen. The biggest thing that's ever crashed back into the planet that was man-made was the Mir space station. It was huge, way bigger than satellites are. This thing broke apart into a bunch of pieces when it hit the atmosphere. The space shuttle had protective panels on its bottom to make sure it could survive re-entry. Satellites are nowhere near as big as Mir or have any type of protection on them like the space shuttles did. But apparently, in the XXX universe, these things are nigh indestructible. Seriously, if this weapon was real and terrorists got it and they threatened us like, we're gonna bomb all your cities with satellites, everyone would just go about the day, because that's not a threat at all. They would be laughed at, tremendously laughed. Go ahead, do it. Oh no, not our satellites. Ah! I could not be more disappointed in this movie because the first one was so much fun, but this one is just a soulless, poorly conceived, poorly executed, and desperate attempt to start a new movie franchise. And oh yeah, they definitely are trying to set up a new franchise because at the end of this movie, they're like, oh yeah, there's gonna be more adventures with XXX and the gang. What? Ugh. Do not see this movie. Do not see it. Save your brain cells, save your money. Do not support this film. It's just bad. It's just so bad. Now, usually at this point in the video, I would do a bunch of spoilers and tell you, how things are stupid or they sucked or isn't this crazy? Ah! But this movie, there's nothing in this movie. There is absolutely nothing to spoil. So I'm going to take all 100 minutes of this film and condense it down to about 2.5 minutes because it turns out this whole movie was in the trailer. I know it seemed that way, but it truly was. The whole movie is in the trailer. So I'm going to recut the trailer for you and save you about 97 minutes of your life. So here you go.
Very dangerous guys.
We need someone who can move like them, fight like them. It's time to be a patriot.
You have 3 seconds to comply.
Rebels and tyrants.
Get on your knees. 1, 2.
3.
If you wanted me back, you could have just asked me.
I'll introduce you to your ground team.
All right, here comes Red Bull's poster child.
I'm not gonna have clowns watch my back.
Who would you trust?
The good, the extreme, and the completely insane.
Hold on!
What you want, I got what you need.
Now that's a team I can work with.
refreshing. You actually know what you're doing down there.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Wow.
Whatever it is you're looking for, you're gonna come up short.
Does this mean you're not making me breakfast in the morning?
We're willing to die to keep the world safe. How about you?
I live for this.
I guess we're on the same team now.
You ready to? Here we go.
I go low.
Let me simplify it for you. To look dope while you're doing it.
See, not too bad, 2.5 minutes, right? Kind of easier to digest. Anyways, let me know what you think. Please leave me a comment below. And also, if you enjoyed this video, or the trailer recut, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. As always, here's a couple more fun things you can watch on YouTube right now. And you should expect the next movie review coming out kind of soonish. And until then, I'll see you guys later.